guys, what is up? Welcome back to Gals on the Go podcast. It's Brooke, and I'm here today with my mom.
I'm so excited.
I know, and this is
back on the pod.
It's been a minute. It's been a year and a half.
Oh, I was going to say, at least
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Feels like longer.
I know. So
You got so
welcome
old.
back. Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. What?
You're getting old. I'm getting
Oh my
old.
gosh, I'm
You're getting
26.
old.
No, you look younger than ever, which is what we're going to get into. Like
thank
this,
you.
everything in this episode. The people are excited to have you back.
Thank you.
If you guys are like, where's Danielle? She will be back on next week with her mom, actually. So we're doing 2 weeks of just moms here on the pod, and then we'll be back together. So don't worry if you're like, wait, I'm making
Yeah, because we just don't want Adina.
No, we love
We love Danielle. Danielle's not going anywhere.
No. She's definitely not going anywhere. We're so excited to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm great. We just came back from, look, I post-wedding hair.
I know, but you look great. I love it.
I literally didn't even put a curl or do anything into my hair.
Oh, it's just stayed like that?
I woke up, and this was after I took out my pony and everything.
Whoa.
Impressive, right?
Yeah.
Poor Rachel.
Looks phenomenal. Yeah, because you did like a whole, you did a ponytail. So I guess
Yeah.
did you have to cut it out or you just removed it?
No.
Because you know sometimes the ponytails are clear elastics and it's like a whole.
No, I just kept the bobby pins and the bobby pins and the pins.
Did you have a headache from it?
Well, and you know, because I had my clip-in extensions that were like 15 years old.
They look good, though.
But they looked great. And no, it came out, and this is post. But what a great weekend we had.
We did. We went
a nice
to
family weekend.
Such a great family weekend. We went to my cousin's wedding out and at the Montauk Yacht Club. It's a gorgeous resort.
Formerly Gurney's Star Island.
Yes.
By the way, for those who might be like, what, Montauk Yacht Club?
Stunning. And a true wedding weekend. Like we stayed, it was like the welcome party the first night, then the wedding, then the brunch
nice.
the next day. And it's just so great to see everyone.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.9 out of 10 just because I felt like I couldn't give it a 10. That's what I told Marianne last night, the mother of the bride.
I was going to say,
That
what
was
did you
after about, 15 cocktails.
Yes, we definitely drank. I needed an Advil today. I had my brother slip me a, Brooke, you never really get drunk anymore. And that just sparked me to get
Luckily,
drinking.
they were at a different table, though, I feel.
Yeah. Well, it was, when you get going when it's an open bar like that, you're like, all right, sure, let's take another shot.
Gosh, how about Daddy? There was one point where I saw Daddy literally sprinting across the dance floor because he saw you guys for the second time gathering for a shot. And I just see him going...
I saw him walk really.
And I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what's happening over there? And it was because the first shot you almost missed out, and he almost missed out.
Yes.
By the way, I do not
Mom's not a
partake.
shot gal. She had one bad experience.
Not one.
Oh,
No.
many.
If it was only one.
Sorry. Well, it's one that sticks out in it.
But thank God I like as you get older, and this is probably good for the advice. Because you know when people say like tell your 30-year-old self, your 40-year-old self.
Oh, yes.
Tell your 40-year-old self it's okay that you were vomiting while your husband was driving down the street or out of the car window
because you were so hungover.
Like from the night.
Oh, God.
God. Yes, like
Ugh.
horrible. Or how about my 40th birthday party that I didn't make it to because I drank too much.
I know.
And they had the party without me.
So slow down is basically what we're saying.
So I learned my lesson is
Yes.
my point, and now I just have fun.
And you can have fun without, getting obliterated. Yes, of course.
Great
A
times.
wonderful, wonderful time. And the weather held up. It was like supposed to rain, but we got so lucky that it didn't. And that's all.
It was great.
We'll
It was
spare
just
you
a great
the annoying wedding
So,
checks.
Dana and John, cheers.
Cheers to the Gorman.
To the Gormans. Exactly.
Danielle and I have this whole bit because it's always like those cliche Instagram captions when people like get engaged. It's like, cheers to the happy couple. Like it always is. And you put like the date and whatever. But I did it today too. I was like, cheers to the Gormans.
I have a question though, and I didn't even talk to you about this.
Oh, yeah.
So, is it no longer a thing to do that whole hashtag? And I'm very serious.
Yeah.
I really didn't ask you this.
I don't think it's completely out. I just don't think it's as it wouldn't be a problem to do it now
Because they didn't do it, and
they're very trendy.
For me, it's, and I think I see them as trendy. And for me, I was like, oh, thank God, like it's one less thing. I don't need to be.
I really thought about that because I was like, what's the point of the hashtag? Like, it's not like it's going to get trending, but it really is a collection of the photos, which it does kind of make sense.
Like, because it goes into one place.
Because then you click on that hashtag and you see everyone at the wedding's photos.
So that's fun.
So it's kind of fun for that.
Does the photo booth take is that in place of, because the photo booth, but I guess those
No.
are action. I guess you're right. I know.
And I didn't send those to my phone. I only printed those. Now that I think about it, did you send them to your phone too?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I just used it as like a photo
They
printer.
came out so bad.
I know it was one of those black and white photo booths. For some reason, black and white, it does something. It gives you like a old Hollywood glamour vibe, and you look like you. It's amazing.
Oh
yeah.
no, but I didn't like the way mine came out.
Oh really?
I felt like I looked very I don't know if it was because Daddy has gray hair. Like I felt like we looked very like we were like blending in, and then my hair. I don't know. It's a thing.
I see. Well, the one of the five of us was interesting because we tried. The one of just Ben and I is great.
Then when he was like, "Oh, make a serious face," and then Daddy like really listened.
yeah, he was like
And it was like, what's happening?
No, it's a photo booth. It's supposed to be light.
Yes,
Let's not make this. Let's not.
But anyway, it was really nice. So we had a great
Lovely.
weekend, and it's Father's Day.
Oh yes,
and-
happy Father's Day. Well, this is going up a little bit later, so we won't.
No, of
keep it
course,
too
of
in
course.
real time or whatever. Yeah, we're recording early because we're gals on the go in the coming weeks. I have another wedding. When you guys are listening to this, like I'll just have wrapped up another wedding.
Well, it's wedding season.
It's wedding season.
So
We have a few questions about that.
Yeah.
Oh, so I should say we asked you guys to submit some audio messages. We loved doing this, Danielle and I, a few weeks ago on the pod, and apparently you guys really liked it too. What?
Let the record be stated, I requested this.
You did.
This was after I heard that other podcast.
Oh, our favorite podcast. I've had it. My mom only listens, just so we're clear, to Gals on the Go. That's the only podcast she's ever listened to. I sent her, I said, I think you should listen to this podcast. I've had it because it's two 50-year-old moms basically complaining about things in life. Just
about everything.
About everything. Yeah.
Everything. And I actually did ask Brooke about it. Like, do you end up having so many haters that they're equal to the people that actually like it? No, that might be a thing.
Well, it depends how personal you take it. Because, for example, like they did a bit like on book clubs and how stupid book clubs are. But like, I'm not going to go like cause a tizzy, like, just because I like books and But I think it's funny.
I just think so. Needless to say, they're wonderful. But then I called Brooke and I was like, oh, they actually play these callers.
Oh,
and I think it's so fun.
And their listeners are so funny because they give like but you guys submitted some great stuff, so we're really excited to get into it. Yes. But before that, we're gonna, keep it normal here, and we're gonna do our current fave and rec.
Yes.
So why don't you kick it off with your current favorite?
My current favorite. Is this when the music plays?
On the audio only. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you're watching the video,
do you want me to sing along? Okay, no, I'll just do my current favorite. So Brooke, this was great because also while we were driving back from the wedding, separate cars, Brooke's like, do you have your current fave and rec? And I'm like, I will. And then of course I had to think about it. So not only that, but I'm going to show it because I've seen this packaging before. I love this.
How did you acquire this?
So, well, first of all, it's the Perfect Heels Rescue Balm, and it's by This Works. Mm-hmm. I think I used this brand, or I got a sample of it somehow. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
However, I got a sample. And I loved it. And then I forgot about it for like a decade. And so here's why I love this. This is for all you gals that either don't get pedicures regularly, or you do, but you find, like me, when you get pedicures and then they like either put that callus remover, which is more money, I might add, or they,
The cheese grater.
Exfoliate too much or whatever,
that.
right?
Yeah.
It looks good for that minute. You wake up the next day and you're like, okay, what's happening?
Why? Because
Right?
your skin's like peeling.
It's like so
and
much
stuff.
worse.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like it. I guess it's like almost like an exfoliator where it's like it looks good for a minute, then it comes back, and then it will come back again, but not so very much with my feet. This stuff works. And it really does. And use a very small amount. And I just put it on the very heels. I would show you my heels, but that's a whole thing, and I will not.
You're not supposed to do that anyways
Thank
on
God.
the internet. That's not.
Yeah, this is
don't
not
worry.
like this is not
Yeah.
QVC where I have to be like, and here it is in action.
No, we got you.
You got me.
Yeah,
You trust
yeah.
me. But anyway, I swear by it. I have one in Florida and one here. That's how much I love it.
Where did you pick this up?
I actually went to their website directly.
Wow, that's so unlike you.
I know.
Is there a coupon or something?
I think it was cheaper.
Yeah,
I'm pretty cheap
though. No, you will use Rakuten.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think I did. And I don't remember how much it is, so don't hate me for that.
No,
But-
this brand's
and it
not that
wasn't-
crazy.
And it wasn't cheap. Like it wasn't like, like $10. It was a little bit more.
Okay.
But you also use a very small amount.
Love it. My mom is also like the CEO of Rakuten. Like seriously, I'm joking around, but it is that cashback website. We do ads for them sometimes.
Love.
So I bet that's why you did it, because it's probably like 15%.
Yeah, like I must have put
or
it
something,
into like, because do you ever go on Amazon when it's like you could get it cheaper with
the plug? Yeah, if you have the plug-in.
Like,
yes.
I'm like, okay, here I go. I'm going to get it cheaper.
Going rogue.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I love. How about
works.
you? How about
mine? Is actually Sal inspired me, like reminded me recently with his passion. You know, Sal's in his fitness era, as we know. We need to have him on the going to fitness. My God, this guy. God. Yeah, and a real guy on the go these days. So he's looking to sneak in his protein with Bear Bells. So these are protein bars. I've shared them before in vlogs. Maybe I've talked about them on the pod, but maybe not this flavor. Okay.
Which one are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say the creamy crisp. Have you tried this flavor?
Is it the one the which?
It's the blue packaging.
Yes. Oh, okay. So it's the regular one.
But I have to show you because I got it. They sent me a few. I didn't. I originally tried. It kind of looks like the. What is that? Cookies and cream packaging.
I've never had that. What flavor? Where did you get it from?
They did send it to me, but I know it's on Amazon as well.
Because it's not a Trader Joe's.
Not a Trader Joe's. No.
Cookie dough is though. Cookies and cream. The cashew one. That was actually going to be mine.
Your favorite?
Yes.
Wow, you have so many favorites.
I do. Well,
my mom was like, "That was gonna be my." She has a whole.
I have a whole skincare.
Yes.
I could do it. I can do an entire episode on
Maybe
skincare.
we'll do a vlog on that.
But I have to tell you, I have a call with them this week for QVC.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Fingers crossed.
I hope it works out. No, they have great stuff. They're definitely premium. The texture of them, I'm not going to be like, it's a candy bar, but like they really are a treat.
It's as close to a candy bar. It's super high in protein and really Weight Watcher point friendly.
Yeah, you don't do Weight Watchers
no,
anymore, though.
But I'll still like look at like that's how I gauge if something is a better choice or not.
Oh, really?
Like I still use the app. I still
do?
I still pay monthly just so I can have the app.
To scan if things or look up.
This way it gives me like it just guides me.
Okay.
So I won't count the points every day, but it helps make better decisions.
Great. If that works for you, that works.
Yes.
But it's a great thing to have on the go. I had my period this week and I was having some chocolate cravings in the middle of the day, you know, in not great times, you know, but I was like, okay, I'll do this. And
love it.
It's great.
Love.
Let's talk about Rex.
Okay.
Rex.
So my rec, which I did have to ask Brooke because it kind of like gets blurry between the favorites and the recs.
I know. So the rec, I brought it up to Danielle. I was like, I think we should do this thing rec, but I get it. It's kind of confusing.
It gets a little blurred. But rec, and by the way, consistent Adina Miccio.
Oh.
Bravo. All things Bravo.
She's a huge Bravo gal.
Just Bravo. Just by the way, Andy Cohen. Can we have Andy Cohen on the show?
You need to read his book.
Oh yeah, I heard it was very good.
And you're a reader now.
Yeah, now I'm a reading gal.
gal.
Yeah, actually I'll order it from Amazon. That's a good idea. I should. But I'll tell you why I love Bravo. And one of your amazing listeners gave us a question and kind of went this route about my leaving your brain at the door comment. Because when I still feel that way, by the way. So my escapism, is that a word?
Yeah.
I actually think it is.
Yes, I think it is. Yes.
Is reality television. Mm-hmm. For the reason being that I'm really going all day long. And I just love that, you know, you could scroll on your phone while you're watching it. You could be on your computer while you're watching it. You don't have to be like so dialed in.
Completely agree.
So all things Bravo. So what does that mean? Well, of course, it means Vanderpump. But, you know, now we've come to the season.
Of course.
The end of the season. Now we could just go on a whole episode of who we dislike the most.
Of course. I actually did. I don't know if you heard this tea that because Jax and Brittany have a podcast on Podcast One as well.
I did listen to their podcast, by the way. You said I only listened to theirs. I did listen to theirs.
Okay. So that's maybe these are the 3 podcasts she's ever listened to, just so we're clear. Because you listen to you watch a lot of reality TV, but you don't listen to like reality TV podcasts not so much. Yeah.
Correct.
But I did hear rumblings that they might be returning.
I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm Team Jackson Brittany. I'm Team Jackson Brittany.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're not going to get into who I am team in this because, by the way, most people are in line with, you know.
Of course. The popular opinion.
I mean, who in their right mind is
Team
going for
Rachel
Sandoval?
And
who? And I need to know the people that are still going to his concerts because gather in one room and I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Like
he's
who?
He's not even talented. Is the thing. So it's not even like, oh, but I like.
But why
the
would you
music.
like line his pockets? Like
I don't.
You know, I don't mind
know.
if you do nothing, but
because the band members, like, you feel bad for them.
I don't know. I guess anyway. But I am all things. Of course, it's the end of Jersey Housewives.
Yeah, what's happening?
Well, as soon as you and your brother leave, and I'm done working tonight, I have my Tuesday episode still waiting for me. I have not seen it since last.
Is it reunion or it's a?
It is the reunion, and it's like the juiciest one. So I haven't seen it. Wow. Yeah.
That's deep because it's like real family shit,
Yes.
right? Like it's
I know
like,
you kind of feel
yeah,
bad,
I know.
but I am team Gorga.
Oh, really? I don't know if that's a
Yes.
hot take or what. I don't know what the take is.
Oh, it definitely is. So go ahead, say what you want, but I'm definitely team Gorga.
I feel like that's pretty split though. Like it's real. Like people
Yeah.
take different versus like Vanderpump, where it's like everybody obviously loves Ariana. You know.
Yes.
I love that Ariana is taking every opportunity right now. I just need that to be
To
said.
thrive.
She's such a businesswoman. Like
Yes.
they call, she does it. The like commercial she's doing, the
Oh, I love
Duracell
it.
one.
Love
She
it.
did Canes. Like she's killing it. Yeah,
She's the best. And she's just so beautiful. But she's
I know.
always
I know, so gorgeous. So all things Bravo.
That's
Yeah.
my rec.
Catch my mom on episode.
Yeah, we should really.
I have to get the number. Damn. Okay. Well, she was on Real Housewives of Orange County. One episode. It's the one where Shannon Bedore goes to QVC because my mom was her QVC liaison.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Still trying to get her back. She's got some other stuff, but so we'll see. She wants back.
Yeah.
So we're trying to.
You're trying to make it
happen.
work. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like stuff that goes on. I feel like in the business, it's not as simple as like, hey, put me on. Like, you know, there's so much that has to line up, and it's a business. And yes. Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Because I get so many people who come, you know, they're like, hey, tell your mom.
Yes.
I want to sell my product.
Well, the best is when people say to me, they're like, so, you know, when you retire, meaning in front of the camera for David's Cookies, they're like, is your daughter gonna, you know, come on in and take over? I'm like, no. Like, I think you know what my daughter does? My daughter does not need to plop her ass in front of people and sell David's
It's
Cookies.
very impressive.
Thank God.
Honestly, at this rate, Sal may be a better.
Being the salesperson he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skip those cold calls and just go right into
get right
QVC. So no,
Oh,
so
that's
thank
great.
God. But they do
Yeah.
say that. They're like, oh,
that's
is
so
Brooke
funny.
gonna-" I'm like, no.
Paving the way for the family
Yeah,
business.
There's no family business here.
No family biz. Okay. And my rec, I've been struggling because I've been, not to be like, I've been so busy, but I really have been so busy. I haven't had time to read. I feel like I've had social plans every night of the week, which is all my own doing. But usually that's my reading time. It's infringing and my TV watching and everything. Like I've just been off. But I have, when I am alone and home and want something to play in the background, I've been rewatching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Do you know what this is?
Oh.
So it's a book that came out when I was like literally a teenager.
I remember it.
Yes. They made it into an Amazon show last year, and the season 2 comes out in a few weeks, and it's just like a good feel-good comfort watch. Like, I mean, I paid attention the first time when I watched it, so like now when I watch it, I appreciate the beautiful aesthetics of the scenes, and it's like beachy and summery, and you know.
And it's a good vibe. It's not like Firefly Lane. That's like
There's some episodes that are
gets a little
sad.
heavy
There's
and
some that are
sad.
sad. I don't want to like spoil it, but like
because that would have. By the way, that was a rec that you gave me. That was
Firefly
such a
Lane
great
on
rec.
Netflix
for you know total chick flick all the way.
Totally.
You know, like
same with this. Yeah.
You know, so I was using that to like work out when Daddy wasn't working out. Would you know just alone, but you know then when I was crying hysterically while I was on the elliptical, it's a little difficult.
I know.
They get a little sad.
I know. This one, there definitely is some moments where it's like they touched on like real subjects, and you're like, "Ooh, yeah, we're here." But I get it. That's how you make. Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
real. Not everything's sunshine and rainbows. So I get it.
Or not everything's Bravo.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Oh gosh.
Well, hopefully we'll have some more chill time to, watch some more Bravo this summer, read some more books. That's on my agenda.
Enjoy the outside.
Yeah,
But you're saying that also. You're saying that you don't have time, but that's also because Ben's done with school.
yeah, he's been done with school, and I
it
took the liberty of
is.
booking up our social calendar. This
So
is
your
all
calendar,
my doing.
yeah,
Yes,
so which is
yes.
great. I
So
mean, you
feel like I'm
knew it was
living life.
coming.
Of course. I feel like I'm
Right.
really. I'm like, oh, we have a spare night. Let's go to a Broadway show. And I feel so lucky that I'm able to do that sort of stuff.
So
but like, I
nice.
feel like that's really like living life, you know?
Of course.
Doing the most. Doing the most. Okay. So let's get into these. So you guys, if you're not already following, I posted this on my personal at Brooke Miccio, but you could also follow at Gals on the Go podcast, of course, to keep up with whenever we do these sort of things. And you know, stay in touch with us.
Of course.
Yes.
I love it. I love seeing like all the new photos that you guys like post of you guys.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so cute. They're so cute.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Well,
I love the
beautiful.
pink. You actually unintentionally wore pink today. So gals of you.
This was going to be another one of my faves.
What is it?
J. Crew.
Love.
Where's J. Crew been in my whole life?
It's literally down the road. It's on every corner. I feel like they have a J. Crew in every mall across America.
Where have they been? And why does everything fit so well?
Because they did get a new like head of design in recent years.
Like look at even like where there's cuts and it's just so flattering on the arm and
Cute little cashmere sweater.
It is a little cashmere sweater and I thought it would be. I actually wore this on air last week.
Perfect.
Really great. Great pop.
We should get you some more
Color.
colors of it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I need multiples. I'm not that person. I only do
Oh, really?
multiples of the same thing in like t-shirts.
I mean, it kind of is a t-shirt.
But it's not.
I guess it's
is
like a
it
little
really?
cashmere sweater t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do love it.
It's great.
Oh, and it only comes in like brights
Oh.
and like a tan. So that's also was another
Gotcha.
thing.
So that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
your.
yeah.
You were like, I'm going pink.
Yes.
I'm wearing this cute comfy,
Gals.
Free People set. It's very cozy for a 70-degree day.
Yes.
We're really getting after it. Okay, so we're going to get into some of these questions. Oh,
Let's
I should
go.
plug our tour, but we are so excited. The gals are going on tour. We have shows coming up. You can go to our website, galsonthegopodcast.com. Chicago, I believe we're working on. So please keep that in mind. Sorry about the door. If you hear this creaky door, we're good. We're in the middle of our house right now, so we are.
I said to
taking
Brooke, I'm
over
like, are
recording.
we going to film in the living room because it's like a centrally located spot
It
in
is,
the house.
but it's the best lighting. So yes,
Yes.
we will. Yeah. Chicago, we're working on. If we haven't already figured that out, we're trying to figure out some stuff.
I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, you might not have a ticket, but you.
Why would you say that?
It's sold out so quick.
You don't have like a certain number
Maybe,
for-
but you're gonna have to sell the merch.
I'll sell the merch.
You have to earn your keep.
Yes, but
yeah.
so I'm going to buy the tickets for. Is New York sold out?
No, New York is not sold out. So,
Okay, well, I'm buying ticket. I meant to tell you, I'm going to buy a bunch of tickets.
and you're gonna bring people.
I'm going to bring multiple people.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. If you insist, I mean, sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
just so
We
you
have a
know.
big theater to fill. So December 16th.
Is it general admission or are there?
No, there's seats.
Oh my goodness! All right,
The
I
good
have to
ones
look
already
at it.
out.
Oh gosh.
No, but there still are really, really great seats. You can. Then there will be great views everywhere. There'll be a fun night, December 16th. It's on a Saturday.
That's
Town Hall, New York
amazing.
City. Yes, we've sold. I don't know how many at this point, like hundreds, but I'm not sure.
And by the way, who doesn't want to go to New York City during Christmas
It's
time?
we purposely chose a weekend in December because we were like, we want all the gals to be able to come out.
Yes, it will be so fun.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Are they gonna dress up and stuff again?
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. We didn't even like tell everybody to dress up. They just did. They understood the assignment without us even saying
gosh.
it. I know. How fun, right?
Very fun.
Yes. You could wear your pink sweater.
I have to clear my throat, so I have to pause for a minute.
Oh, you're allowed to. Well, let
I
me
am?
plug the other shows while you clear your throat.
Yeah, but how does this
It's
thing
okay.
go
Just
off?
put it down. Why don't you just put
Really?
it down?
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, and then we have Austin and Dallas coming up. I think Austin might be sold out. It's hard to predict what's going to sell out and what's not going to. We really are trying.
We didn't even talk about this. I did not realize all these sellouts.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't with you. So Chicago sold out so quick, and it sold out so quick that like people were refreshing the website like within minutes.
Can
like
you do another?
we're working on it. But we kind of we're trying to decide if we need to do like even more, like even bigger, or if we should come. Like it's this world is so new. We're navigating it. It's really I commend people that go on like major tours so much. It's so many logistics.
Yeah, but that's also because you guys don't have like
people
someone
doing it for
this
us. I know
you.
it's really Brooke
Hence-
and Danielle
hence-
doing it.
Hence the word tour manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No, it's literally us. Like this is a like Brooke and Danielle are getting in there and like we're like calling up the venues. We're like, hey, can we like
They're like, well, we're gonna have to speak to the gals. It's like, No. This is the gal.
Yes. No, this is the gals. We're wondering if you could make your website work faster because we have people please. Yeah, whatever it is. All right, let's get into these. So we're gonna play some of them and share. All right. Hold on one second because this one was good, but I just need to hit play on.
Hey, Brooke and Danielle. Love you guys. Wishing you the happiest summer ever. I would love your advice on a situation I'm facing in my relationship. Long story short, before my boyfriend and I started dating, he was best friends with this girl from college. She came out to visit one time. They slept together, and that basically ended their friendship. He and I got together. We've been together almost 2 years now, and a while ago, that girl basically came back and said that she wanted to be friends again. And my boyfriend really wants to be friends again with her. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the situation because they never dated. He's really committed to me, but I'm pretty uncomfortable with their history. And he hasn't been able to tell me how he feels about her today because he's like, it's been an eternity since I knew her, basically. I have no idea how I feel about her. So I just feel like I don't have the reassurance I need to feel comfortable with them being friends. But at the same time, I don't want to be controlling and tell him he can't continue a friendship with someone who is so important to him. So would love your input because I don't really know what to do. Thanks. Love you guys.
Yeah, well, this brings up a whole topic of can guys and gals be friends? Especially the hookups thrown in there definitely throws a wrench in things. But let's give our advice to this gal, and hers.
Am I supposed to say her name? Okay, good.
And
I wanted to be polite.
And her specific situation with her boyfriend and this, what would you do?
No, they cannot be friends. I don't understand why, and no offense, I don't understand why the boyfriend wants to be friends with this girl again. Mm-hmm. Why? Why did? They were such good friends. Okay, but there was a situation. They crossed the line, which is they could do that all day long.
It was before they were dating,
right?
So yes,
but now he's in a committed relationship for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So my feeling is that she should actually speak up and tell. And it's not it's not. Well, I'm not really sure. Here's the facts. The facts are, you can't be friends if we're together.
I like it. I like a sturdy. Yeah.
No, that is probably, out of all the calls that we listen to, that's the one that I'm just
you feel the most concrete about.
This is the way it is, and that's that.
When you are in with your relationship with dad and stuff, and just in relationships in general, are you a pretty ultimatum type? Not ultimatum,
black and white.
Yeah, are you kind of like that? No, yes or no, or this is an extreme situation?
I guess I am. I am known to be opinionated, so pretty black and white. And because I have a strong personality, what I deal with is that people don't think that I would want to be challenged or have somebody give me their opinion. Meanwhile, it's the complete opposite. I love it. I'm always up for a challenge. I always want to, gain perspective.
Of course.
But yeah, I guess I am pretty, I'm not wishy-washy.
Yeah.
What did I do the other day that was so funny? I did something. I was at QVC, and I was asking the food stylist who was doing one of the tables about the design, and he was like, well, I'm not really sure how. And I said, well, you're not really sure, or it's not happening. Two very different things.
Yes.
He's like, well, I guess if you're saying it like that, it's not happening. I'm like, well, then say that. Right?
Be direct and not. Yeah. Well, people, I think you fear someone's reaction to saying that.
Right.
Oh, it's not going to happen. Are you going to freak out and whatever, or are you going to say, okay, we need a solution?
Right.
Yes. I like the directness with this one too. I just putting myself in her shoes, that would make me extremely uncomfortable. And honestly, why do they need to be friends? I have kind of opinions on guys and girls being friends. Obviously, I think it's great. I do still have guy friends, but they're not the type that I hang out with alone. And not that it would be like, oh, I can't be trusted hanging out with them alone. I just don't really have like too many guy friends that would be like, oh, I'm going to get lunch with them or whatever. I think it needs to be, and even thinking of it from the perspective of being like dating someone, if they had girlfriends, like, and they were, and they had a best friend that they were like hanging out with all the time, I would probably want to be included. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about independent friendships.
Yeah, and in all fairness, we sort of don't know everything. Maybe she has a lot of guy friends.
True.
So maybe he's saying, "Hey, you're friends with John and Paul and Mike.
Yeah.
Why can't I be friends with Susie?" So then we kind of don't know. But if judging from what we're hearing,
yeah,
you have to be very strong. It's making you uncomfortable. You're in a committed relationship, so the answer is
great.
You cannot be friends.
Yeah. I think that's a good
there
advice
it is.
there. Yeah. Speak up.
Yes.
Okay. Next up.
Hi, Adina. I really need a mom's advice right now, and I feel like you and Brooke are the two best mother figures to do this with. I'm 3 years out of college. I hate my job. I think it's the worst thing in the world. I'm in a sales role, and the amount of stress and anxiety it gives me is like literally killing me. On the verge of just having a breakdown every single day. So I'm trying to make a switch into like marketing or like SEO stuff, because that's what I went to school for: marketing, digital marketing, all of that fun stuff. And I'm just really struggling because I don't want to just quit my job because then I won't have an income. But it's so hard to make a pivot. So just any advice you guys have on, breaking into a different field and getting involved in something different and how to do it, because I think I've applied to like 200 jobs on LinkedIn and I just am not getting anywhere. And I just keep getting rejections, and I know it's because the market just sucks so much right now as well. So any advice you guys have on making a switch or doing something different and how to get there would be just really, really awesome. Thank you too. Love you too so much. Adina, you're like a mother. Love, XX.
We love you.
Oh, that's so nice.
So nice.
Love her.
Yeah. We got a lot of career questions, and I thought this was a good one to kind of like generally sum up a lot of people's feelings, but we could give advice to her specific like situation.
Yeah, and I think what sticks out with me the most is really what she said in the very, very beginning, that she's in a sales position and she's super stressed. So immediately, yes, enter mother in the room. This is not good. I don't want her to be stressed. So clearly she does need to make a move. And I would actually say, if you're going to make the move, if you can't find the job that you think you want, find something even temporarily to get you out of the stressful job, because that is just unhealthy. I mean, stress is, stress is not something that you want to be like, oh, I remember when I was 25, I was stressed for this amount of years. Like, that's not like something that you want to, that you have to have that box checked.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah. I think that a lot of, unfortunately though, like if you surveyed like a lot of young people, like they do feel stressed, but I know there's like definitely a line between that unhealthy level of stress where it's like anxiety inducing, which is what she said.
It
so
sounds
I agree.
that way, right?
Completely. Yeah. I would agree. I would say, I mean, this literally, not that I felt stressed and anxiety inducing in my old job, but obviously like, how to get out of that. Well, I think I felt stressed, not from the content of the job, but more so like everything on my plate. I think that's more what it was, because I was like, then I would have to go home.
You think so?
Well, I wasn't good at it, but I don't think it.
I didn't say I wouldn't say you weren't good at it. It wasn't for you.
Yeah. So I think because I knew it wasn't for me, it caused me. Yeah. There was a whole lot of did I find it like so? No, I would finish my work like early and be like twiddling my thumbs because I would like rush through it and be like, oh gosh, how can I figure this out? But I think for her, I mean, you could give your advice, but well, also with the LinkedIn applying to jobs thing, when I applied to jobs,
I don't know. I was about to say that's the only part that I could really touch on. The jobs, the LinkedIn, okay.
From what I've heard, you have to have a personal connection these days. Like if you're just blindly applying, unless you are like doing like software engineering or something where it's like a really in-demand job field, it's like nearly impossible to like just
Wow.
get something on just that. So you have to really make personal connections, and from what I've heard, do a lot of like coffee meetings and stuff, or like, you know, getting like
Wow.
meeting these people, like trying to make those personal connections, because that's how they vouch for you, like in the company, and like get you in and stuff. Makes sense. I mean,
It does make sense. I mean, that's probably life, right? That's
Yeah.
so much of life. But again, bringing it back, get out of the stress, do something. Look, I'm not sitting here saying, do what makes you happy, blah, blah, blah. But do something that at least takes you away from being
Can
stressed.
she do a job that maybe is an hourly wage or something temporarily?
While you're thriving and trying and looking for that job.
Yeah, just to stay afloat. I never
Yes.
advise people like to quit and have no backup plan, because
You need a backup plan.
yeah, or just have any sort of income if you can, you know, because it's nice to, otherwise you're really like relying on your savings. It's tough.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's-
and
it's
that could be
risky.
more stressful.
Exactly.
Right. So we don't want to
yeah.
make it more stressful. We need to like find
the balance
figure
there.
out that
But I'm
balance.
sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
We got a lot. If it makes you feel any better, we got so many
So many like that.
about people who are recently post grad and struggling with the transition, or
Looking
a few years
looking
in, and,
or
yeah.
looking for advice on pivoting and all of that.
Totally.
Right.
Lots of questions like that.
Yeah.
But good for you on like realizing that you want to make a change. That's a big
Yes.
accomplishment in of
Yeah.
itself. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Hey, you guys. I just wanted to say that I love you both so much. And I really love the mother-daughter relationship that you guys have. Unfortunately, my mom passed away when I was little. And then my stepmom and I just did not have the best relationship. But now I'm a mom myself. I have 2 little boys. And I just kind of wanted some advice on how to maintain such a healthy relationship as they get older. And I just love that you guys are best friends. I know it's different between mother and daughter, but what would be your advice for boundaries and just creating such a good, healthy relationship? Thanks. Love you both.
I love that. That's
she's so sweet.
I know.
Yeah, I want to say one thing before we get into the real topic, which is boundaries. You know, I think she's dealing with something, you know, that a lot of people deal with, which is the death of a parent, the parent getting remarried or in a significant relationship, and possibly them not getting along. And it's very common, right? And I think we all know that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's more common than not. So, you know, recognizing that and not really beating yourself up about it, and being okay with that, I think is very normal. And I first want to say that to her,
that's nice.
because that's
Yeah.
important for her to
Here.
hear.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it's really impressive that you're looking at your own family and being like, I want to, you know, be the best mom. Like, that's so admirable to me to hear
Of
that you are,
course.
like, that's so important to you.
And I'm
yeah.
okay. And now let's get into this.
Okay.
I'm sure she's already a
I know,
great mom, because you could
seriously.
tell. Because any mom that's actually thinking about how to be a great mom is already a great mom.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's
Right. I mean, I think that your generation is also in a much, it's just more difficult times. I think that people are always analyzing and it's just so different than it was when I was growing up, certainly than when grandma was growing up, you know, in every generation. So I'm sure she's doing a fantastic job of being.
Yes. Okay, so now what I would say is, because people always ask, you know, how are you so close with your mom, and like how do you guys do that with the boundaries and all that stuff? Number one, I always say, which is a cliche answer, is that we got very, very lucky that we're 2 people that we have a lot of common interests. We are both willing. Like, I feel like a lot of the times it would be either a parent wanting to be close to the child or a child wanting to be close to the parent, whatever. Like, the interest level kind of doesn't match up.
Right.
And I think obviously it has a lot to do with how I was raised, I think. And I guess it is kind of the boundaries, how it was. And I don't even know if it's a how-to guide, but it was kind of established that, yes, you were my mom. And there were many, many things that we did not talk about. Let me be clear. You know, my mom, I still consider her to be I would say you're one of my best friends. Yes.
thanks,
Seriously. But there are many things that even still we do not talk about. You know, a lot of the sex lives things, or if it was things that I shouldn't have been doing when I was growing up, whatever. I'm not like I was never one of these people who would come home and be like, Mom, I was, like when I was in high school, like getting into trouble.
And there was
or whatever.
never inappropriate conversations, like, or to me, what would be inappropriate of supporting what would be normal teenage behavior, but having conversations about it. Like I was still, your father was your father, your mother was your mother. We still had rules.
Yes.
There wasn't, we didn't condone underage drinking. We didn't condone drug use. We didn't
of course,
like all of those things.
course.
Like it wasn't like we weren't so desperate to be the cool parents.
No, did we ever tell the fake ID story? Did we ever tell the story?
I don't know.
I think I'm old now. Like I could say it, right? Like how you guys caught me senior year of high school. I had my I had an iMac at that time. I was doing YouTube and I bought myself an iMac. Remember?
I was inside putting away clothes. I want you to know, in Brooke's room. I've never once. By the way, Brooke has had diaries her entire life, right?
Yeah,
or journals.
yeah.
I have never once, and I don't know if you know this, I have never once even picked up the book, let alone turned a page in any of those.
It's very, very
there
considerate.
Is absolute.
Thank you for the
so
privacy.
you talk about boundaries. Like I would never. So anyway, I want to say that I stumbled on this information when I was literally.
I know, and it was
away
literally
clothes
in your face. Yes, I know, and this was on me. I mean, I should have been more locked up, but I guess I just didn't. I left my computer open, which had my text messages, and I guess I left the volume on, so it was being very loud, and it was literally just on the screen, right? I had no screensaver, like it was just up, and it was ping, 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 just right there. So this was totally on me. I went out with one of my friends, because at this point we were like 17, 18, like had our license, whatever. I was doing a quick run to the local liquor store, because I was one of the only ones that did have a fake ID. It's a long story, but I worked with a lot of people that were in college, so I had like older friends, I guess. So I got in with them, and I wasn't like seeking it out. It was kind of like a landed in my lap type of situation. But of course, everyone was like, Brooke has an ID, Brooke has an ID. So my friends and I were out getting alcohol for the weekend. And I came back home then because you had seen the messages. What were the messages? They were so stupid.
Yeah, well, they were very well. It was vague. It wasn't just like, "Hey, get me a Tito's" or "Get me a," It wasn't like very. It was. It was. Well, if we're gonna go here, then maybe we should bring something. Or if Brooke's going anyway. So it was just, it was like very like cryptic,
and because we still did have to sneak around. Like I couldn't come home with like cases and like where in my room was I putting that? Like where I had to be sneaky about it.
Yeah, because it's not like you're a boy that has like a backpack. Like
no,
all the boys with
I
the
remember
backpacks.
I left my house with like a tote bag, but I was like, why do I need a tote bag? Like
so I went upstairs and I was putting away the clothes and I saw it and I like put it together and I was like, my stomach dropped and I was like, oh my God. And I remember running outside. Daddy was working in the garage and I'm like, you need to come upstairs right now. I'm reading something on Brooke's computer and I think this is very bad or whatever. And I was like emotional. I was freaking out. He comes upstairs. He's like, all right. He's like, okay. And I'm like, well, what? He's like, well, yeah, she's buying alcohol, it sounds like. And, she must, she's buying. I'm like, how is she buying alcohol? And he's like,
because she has
Dina, she must have a fake ID. And I'm like, how would she have a fake ID? And I was just.
You spiraling. Well, because you're like, I get it. It's that's. So obviously I didn't tell my parents that I had this. They don't even know, they probably know that I went out and did things, but you don't know how I acquired anything or whatever.
Right.
But then I came back home and then I literally came back home. I was in the best mood. I left the alcohol with my friend who dropped me off. So I was like, you're good. Like, I don't think I had it like physically, or maybe I did have it on me.
No, you didn't.
I think she had it, whatever. So I come in the door. I'm like smiling because I was about to go get ready for my night out. I was so excited. I was like, ah. And I was like, how are you, Dad? Like, 'cause he was like working outside or whatever. He's like, yeah, go talk to Mom. And I was like, okay, like didn't think anything of it, come right in and you greeted me with the arms crossed. You're like, where were you? I was like,
I'm like, where were you? And don't lie.
You're very
and then
stern.
Brooke just immediately
burst into
crying.
tears. I burst into tears and I I think I confessed right away. I'm not.
Yes,
one
yes,
thing
yes.
about me is that once.
Yeah, no, also I said don't lie, but you ended up, remember, you did lie.
I did lie.
Because,
Okay. So then they made a whole big, then my dad finally comes in. They're like, what did you buy it with? I said the ID, and then they take it out. And then they were like, show it to us. Like I showed it to them. They looked at it. And then it was the most dramatic situation ever. They took a scissor from the kitchen.
Yeah, but then the cheap part of Adina Miccio kind of set in. Do you remember this part? Where I was like,
yeah.
well, maybe we should just hold the thing.
Just hold on to it for
hold on to it for a little. And Daddy's like,
no,
we're cutting it right now.
And they cut it into a million pieces, threw it out. I'm hysterical crying. The weirdest thing though is you guys were like, you can still go out tonight. And I was like, no, I'm not going out tonight. Like, no, I just I'm punished, whatever. And I felt
you
like
punished yourself.
Yeah, self-punished. Yeah. But you did say, you were like, do you have any more of these? And I said no, and I did have one.
Yeah.
Because I gave it to Tupac, so I have another one
No, was it
upstairs.
Tupac?
Yeah. I know. I didn't use it for a while.
Is it?
too.
It's still a 2-pack, right?
I don't know. I don't even know. I've never actually placed the order or whatever. It was like one of those things that I got in with people.
No, but I remember somebody else saying that that's the way it was. But now from what I've heard anyway, the New York State ones are so hard to get because of the way they do the driver's licenses now.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah.
That they're hard to copy.
Anyway, so the point is about boundaries.
Yeah, it's not like I was like,
that's-
I got an ID.
But that's like a
stuff.
healthy thing.
Of course.
Like, you know what would be not healthy for Brooke to have, at the age of 16, 17, come to me and been like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a fake ID. Like that would be that's just,
No, and I guess it is truly like different things work for different people, I guess. But for me, that always, and I still had like a role of authority of you guys. Like I still feared getting in trouble and like what my parents would say, disappointing my parents in like a way that led me to make good decisions. I mean, not that was a good decision, but like I was still trying to be careful and stuff while still making stupid teenage mistakes, of course.
Well, that just happens naturally. We all do that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So that was a fun story
Yes.
about the boundaries piece, and I do think you just need to. It's like so hard to be like, just be a good parent, but I feel like you saying all this stuff and clearly you're expressing
what I'm
like
saying,
lots of
yeah.
interest. You guys were always so good about both of you and Dad, but really like expressing interest in my interests, which led me to share more with you and just keeping things positive. I think it's really I think it really affects children when you tell them, if they say like, if I came home and I was like, I want to do theater, and you're like, that's weird or something, like that makes me want to be like, okay, so my parents, are judging me or think I'm weird or whatever. I feel like you guys gave me like freedom of self-expression and like, I don't know, you did a lot of good things.
I will say, I guess we did do that, which I'm happy to say we did.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I definitely did some offbeat activities. Like you guys put me in like local acting classes that weren't just like through the school, and you put me in clubs and
camp.
Yeah, you put me in theater camp, and you put me in other clubs that like weren't just like I feel like
normal,
everyone did.
Everyone was in dance, and
yeah,
everyone was in what was the other thing that everyone did? Like there was all those. Look, I think that it's just important to be engaged in what your child is. The person they are, not the person you want them to be.
That's really good advice. I think a lot of people get tripped up on that.
Right, because you should really that you have to just like kind of forego. Like I remember like I was talking not too long ago to someone I work with, and she has younger boys. And she's like, oh, I don't know, he really loves art and blah, 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 blah. And he's really creative. And I said, I'm like, did you enroll him in like an art class?
Yeah.
Like they have like art leagues. Like I'm not talking about something that cost a fortune. Go to the local like town and
totally
and enroll. She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, yes, like foster that, like, but at the same time, when your child comes to you and says, okay, but let's give this as an example. When Brooke came to us and told us that she wanted to quit the violin.
Oh yeah, you guys love the story. Yeah.
Well, because you don't want to let your child just quit.
But I did it for years though,
right.
to be fair.
But quitting something, there does need to be, now there is, so this is like a weird little like balance situation. It's like, well, they want to quit. If you think it's not the best thing for them to quit, do you try to steer them in that direction, which I think is what we did. We didn't make it mandatory. We didn't say tough shit, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we did at first, but
I think we tried. I think you're like, can
Yeah.
you get through the year? I was like, yeah, I can get through the
Yeah,
year.
and then-
It was
yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
set it like goals.
And it was more so like, because here's the reason why.
Because I wanted to do singing. I wanted to
Right.
do choir. Yeah, and I did.
Right.
And then I did choir. Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's it's important, but because you can't just go with what your kids want on a whim either, because they could come home from school and decide they
No, of course.
they want to do
yes.
something that's not normally what they would want to do. So it's not just on the whims, it's on what the kid really
Express consistent
Yeah,
interest
exactly,
in or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's good advice. And just, being accepting of who your kid really is.
I think it's important.
I think that's so important.
I
I
mean-
hope to be that kind of parent that you guys were like, in terms of being like, all right, our kid's a little weird. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm kidding. It's okay. Well,
I mean,
turned
you were a
out
little weird, but just kidding.
I'm glad that we could admit to that. Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, love you guys both. I feel like Adina would be like really good at advice for this, and you too, Brooke. But basically, this lady that I've babysat her children before, like, asked me to dog sit and asked me what I charged, and I told her, and she was like, "Damn, like, we can't do that. Like, can you do a discount? Like, da da da." But I just don't think it's fair, because that's what I get when I dog sit other families. So how do I tell her in a respectful way that I would like to like charge what I charge?
I love this question.
It's a great question.
Yes, and this goes back. Well, my mom's assertive. Obviously, we just established that. But I do think it's good advice to learn how to, especially when working for yourself, setting your own rates in any field, like in any way,
Yes.
and not accepting less than you feel you deserve. So-
Right. I mean, well, this is a business. Like this
Yeah.
is, you have to treat this. She is a business woman and business owner, and she has established rates, and the rates are the rates. Now, if you decide that your client has been with you for a year and they're great, and you want to, be nice and say, hey, by the way, I know that, I took care of that on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but don't worry about this. Just give me for Saturday and Sunday or whatever. That's fine. I mean,
What, to cut him a break
yeah,
now and then?
but a slippery slope.
Yeah,
So be careful. No, so I'm saying if down the road, if
Okay.
it's a client for a long time.
Well, do you see what she's saying? She's saying that she babysits for them, so they
Yes.
are a client in other regards. But
Yes,
she's
but
switching.
but this is still a different business.
Completely agree.
This is her
Okay.
separate business. And my point is that your rate is your rate. It's very uncomfortable. And by the way, ew to the people that said, oh, I can't, that's too much. Can you do better? Like, what is this?
Well, I think that they could have just said it's too much
Yeah,
instead
just
of
say, oh, that's not-
sorry,
right.
we can't afford that right now,
Right.
or whatever. I don't think that they should have asked for a discount. That's a little much.
I don't like
yeah.
that. I
Just
don't-
because
I don't
she's
like
trying
that
to,
at all.
she's providing a service. It's
Yes.
her fee, and I agree. Her rate is her rate. If she gets that rate for other people, then she goes back to them and she says, "Unfortunately, that you have to stand firm. Unfortunately, that is my rate. That is what other clients in the area are paying me. Therefore,
Yes.
I'm not able to offer discounts."
I don't even think you need a song and a dance.
No.
And feel confident enough in your own decision. Now, I will say this. When you, and again, we're using her circumstances, but when you really think about this broad, you are potentially losing a client.
Yeah,
Right?
Because they like for babysitting, then they could be like, "Oh,
no,
she,"
well, not
or,
even
or
only,
no.
Again, I'm still talking about just her business.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Of the pet sitting,
Dog sitting, I think it was, yeah.
Right. So understand that you might be home one day being like, "Sheesh,
I could have been.
I
doing
could have,
it,
I
yeah.
could have made that extra money, and I wouldn't have been." But so you cannot like shit on yourself.
No.
You have to press on. You establish your rate.
And your rate's
and
your rate.
your
Yeah,
rate's your rate.
I completely agree. And you don't
Yeah.
want it to get out like, "Oh, Susie chart." I don't know. Like,
I don't like
these are
that.
your
Yeah.
rates. These
Totally.
yeah. But proud of you for these are uncomfortable conversations to have.
That's an uncomfortable situation. And I actually think I do remember when I was young. So I babysat for this couple 2 doors down, and I also cleaned their house.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
The girl, hustling at, by the way, I was 12.
like 12.
Yes.
That's like so illegal.
Yes.
Like that is.
I was 12.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I mean, it was for years. So I started at 12. But there were times where it got very blurred, the lines. And like, you know, where they didn't do right by. It was like, well, you're here anyway, you know, type of thing. So
That's
leave it
so
to people to
crazy.
be like this. By the way, I don't like those people that ask
Yeah.
that question. I'm sorry.
I do think that the younger you are, the more that they feel that they could like, you know, somewhat ask you for discount. Like that's annoying.
Yuck.
Yeah. I know. Cause they're probably like, oh, she's 18. She
Yeah.
doesn't know
Yuck,
what she's at.
yuck,
Yeah.
yuck,
it's-
yuck, yuck.
No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here.
Hi, Brooke. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Adina. This is Hannah sending a message from Australia. I love you guys. I love your podcast. I've been listening to you for so many years now, and I feel like I've grown up with you. But anyway, my question for Adina is, I'm now in a phase of life where I've just recently gotten married, and I'm going to more weddings. A lot of my friends are getting married, and I'm just wondering about wedding gift ideas. I feel like this is something Adina could help with. I recently have gotten people a card and given them some money, but I'd really love to give something sentimental that's not too expensive, but a personal gift to the bride and groom I think would be nice. So I was just wondering if Adina had any suggestions, and the same for engagement presents as well. Something sweet, something personal. Do you have any ideas? Thanks.
Love it, and love her accent, obviously.
gosh.
Shout out. That is so cool. We got a few international ones. I'm like, this
Shout
is
out
so
for the
cool.
accent.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Much better than a dog. She's
Yeah.
dog sitting.
Yeah,
You
she's
just-
dog sitting. She having coffee. Speaking of which, notice my coffee and your coffee.
Yeah, we can hold it up to the camera to show. Yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
typical Brooke Miccio. If you know, you know. I drink half my coffee, but honestly, I did get cold brew, and I'm feeling a little shaky, so that's why I'm not having
I
any more.
might drink yours. Then that's, by the way, fun fact. That's what I'll do. Like Brooke will like leave it around the house. I'll be like,
Yeah. You like the
yeah.
it after I have my first few sips. No, I do have the shakes right now. We'll eat our food.
All
after this.
right,
Okay.
all right.
Anyways, this is fitting because it's wedding season, and
just got back from-
yeah. And I thought that you'd be a good person to talk about this with because you were younger when you got married, and I feel like you know what type of gifts you wanted and stuff. And we've gone to a few things now. I also have talked to some of my friends who are getting married about this sort of thing because I have some other people in my life who are getting engaged, and I've been like, hey, what do you suggest I give to them now as gifts? From what I've heard, and this could definitely be some of the newer opinions, is that the whole Mr. and Mrs., whether that be like on merchandise or I've definitely given this gift like photo frames, whatever, like it's just kind of overdone. And that it seems like it's a sweet, sentimental, thoughtful thing to do, you know, like maybe you'll wear the denim jacket on your bachelorette or like once or so, you know, at some point, but that it's kind of a waste. And if you're going to, you know, allocate those, like, and you might think that it's being sweet and thoughtful. I thought that it was. I was about to get someone something that said like future Mrs. whatever.
Well, the reality is this: if they have a registry, that means they really do need those items.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So as much as you might not think that it's a thoughtful gift.
Yeah, spatulas.
It actually is very thoughtful because they need it when you think about it like that,
Completely.
right? Now, it might also be different in Australia, you know, or where she lives in
True.
Australia. Here in New York, most of the time, I'll say, right? For weddings, wedding gifts are money.
Yeah, you give
Right.
like literally the one we went to yesterday was put gifts here and it was an envelope place.
Right. There
Like,
was no
yeah,
section for
gifts.
physical gifts. Right? It was only envelopes. And once again, you could really say that that's the reason, because they're starting a life together. Maybe they've just paid for a very expensive wedding and they're hoping
Honeymoon?
they're hoping to get some of that money back so they could go, oh, by the way, are Dina and John going?
They're going to Portugal. We talked to them about it yesterday.
Right away, or?
I think maybe tomorrow, like soon. Yeah.
Oh, because that's another thing that, like,
Yeah, people are taking a break. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Next Monday.
Next month.
Next Monday.
Daddy and I got married. Like it was like, oh no, your ass was on a plane the next morning.
I've heard about this, or even the night of.
Oh
Sometimes.
yes. You were on a plane, and if you weren't, what was wrong with you?
That to me feels a little chaotic because then you
Isn't
got to
that crazy?
plan for the wedding and pack for the trip. Like that's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. I think a little bit of time.
And by the way, that was when like we were from more so the generation, even though people did. Daddy and I didn't live together, even though we actually had a house together, which we never lived in together.
You waited
until
the
night of our wedding. So even more chaos.
But I think some people. So if you are already living together, then the registry, from what I'm understanding, it's usually more brief. Like this wedding that we just went to was definitely more brief because they've been living together for 2-3 years now at this point.
Yeah.
However, if they are moving into a house together and everything, they need, it might seem like a boring, I agree. It might seem like a boring gift to get an air fryer, but they need it.
But not even boring. It might not
Impersonal.
seem thoughtful or impersonal, but it really is what they want because they registered for it.
Totally.
But as far as for a wedding gift, cash, check, etc., there's no one who would ever say, what am I going to do? I didn't need this. Oh, this was, this is what they want. I need. And like I said, if they did pay for that wedding, chances are they're already in debt from that wedding.
Yes, they're so expensive.
Right?
Everything about it, it's so crazy.
Right?
And I would say you brought up the point we're a big card family. So, write a nice
maybe
card.
you're right. Maybe you're personal and you actually, she mentioned that, like a card or whatever. Maybe that's where you get personal. Maybe it's writing a separate letter about whoever it is, your friend, and what their friendship means and why, or why you think they're going to be a great couple and have a great life together. That's something that they could save, and I'm sure they would love. By the way, who doesn't love that?
Like a personal message like that. Yeah, that's really special.
Right?
Yeah, I like that. And then I'm a big fan recently of getting everything I can personalized. Now, this doesn't need to be just like bride, groom, whatever, but like a lot of people are putting luggage on their registry. Maybe you get the luggage, but you get like their monogram on it or something. Right. Like, just
or even on the luggage tag, it's monogram.
Oh yeah, or you get them, you get them a little bonus thing that like is something that's personalized.
I like
or
that.
Something.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, just so that it's like not just like I just picked this off the shelf, like but I do understand that it could seem, especially cash, can definitely seem impersonal.
Right, it does seem.
I know, but it's practical though for most cases. Yeah,
most likely what they need.
Yeah. But that's really nice that you're thinking of being,
so
really
sweet,
personal about it. We had one more that I'm specifically looking for.
That the Miccio family is very big on tipping, so I have a very important question. If somebody is working out of their home, so say they do hair out of their home or spray tans out of their home, what should be the protocol for tipping? They're getting all the profit. They don't have as many overhead costs. So I just didn't know if you should tip like normal, if there was a different percentage that you should tip. I want to know what Adina thinks. I feel like she has the answer to this one. Thanks, gals.
We love a tipping question.
Do you know the fun fact? I think I've told this on the pod.
What?
My tipping, the original Adina Miccio tipping story. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and we put out the first ever tip cup.
I don't understand.
Listen to my words.
I don't understand.
Well, first of all, you have to understand something. We're talking about 50, 16, 26, 36, 46, 35 years ago. Just imagine what I'm saying now.
I hear
35
you.
years ago. Melissa and I were working at Dunkin' Donuts. They never had a tip cup out. The only time you got tipped at Dunkin' Donuts was we had a counter, like almost set up like a diner.
Oh, and if they were sitting there and
if they were sitting for their 43-cent cup of coffee, okay, free refills, I might add, 43 cents.
This is why the current day prices shock my mom so much.
Yes, this is why she's still living in the past.
She thinks that we are still in the 70s. Yes.
And Melissa and I were talking, and we were like, damn, well, if they're paying over there, if they're going to tip us over there, we're putting the donuts in the box over here, we're making their coffee. What if we put out a tip cup? And we had to get permission from the management. Well, not corporate because I would have went to whatever. But like the owner, the franchise owner of Dunkin' Donuts, we got permission. And we literally hand wrote a thing, tips on it. I'm telling you, we were cutting edge.
Wow. And did it take a while to catch on, or it was pretty?
It was pretty quick.
Wow.
And the best was when we would work during holidays.
Oh, that's true.
And we would get like these crazy tips.
I remember at Ralph's, it was kind of the same.
Yeah, like it was like if you were working on a holiday, it was like, "Woo, baby, you know, here
Easter
you go,"
or something.
We were two Jewish girls working on Christmas Day.
Oh.
It was great.
Oh, probably big tips.
Yes,
because
because
like, wow, they came in on Christmas. How nice! And you're like, it doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah. I'm like, what day is it? So anyway, but I love to say that because I do pride myself on.
Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah. Well, she's always big on tipping. I mean, you tip everyone. Obviously, at coffee shops, at restaurants, you tip above and beyond. But I actually get asked this a lot from my friends too on just services. I had a friend recently be like, oh, should I have tipped on my Botox? And it's like, it's a really big question now, not just for Botox, but for so many services. It's like, wait, am I supposed to be tipping on this or am I? Yeah. For reference, we don't tip on our Botox because
we go to a doctor.
We go to a
doctor's office.
It's a doctor's office. So yeah, we don't.
Which is probably another episode, but I actually do recommend. I feel like I have to recommend that.
Oh, go yeah,
versus
like a med spa.
It really is
totally. Well, because I think a lot of those places, it's like not real Botox, and it's like
it could be cut and all that stuff, right?
Totally, yeah, and it's like a set price, but it really should vary in like the amount that they use versus the amount of work that it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
Yes.
Anyways. So it's a big question on all the tipping in the world. And we actually just had this debate because
we
went through the questions before.
Because Brooke and I are, and we're not like, oh no, you're right, I'm right.
No.
But there's different perspectives on this. So I'll give you an example. So to answer her question, I feel like whatever that owner says. So if you're going to someone's house for a spray tan, and you say, hey, how much is it? And they say, let's go show you. I don't know how much. $50. I was going to say 85. I was going to say 85.
Okay,
$85. You don't have to give them 100 because they told you it was 85. It's at their house. They own the business. It's 100% profit. Okay. Well, not really, but you know what
assuming
I mean.
That this is a one-person business, one person, whatever. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. My question is now, because I brought this up now, I go to Mickey to get my nails done, of course. It's her salon. She owns it. It used to just be her, but now she has employees, but I go to her. I still tip. I tip even over 20%. But it's her salon.
So I guess the only reason now with you now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm okay with you doing that is because she has significant rent and overhead.
Yeah. Okay.
Very different.
It's not in her home.
So once again, let me just back up. Rachel, who does my hair, she does my hair at the salon. She does my hair here
at the house. Yeah.
At
our house.
Right. Now, when she comes here, by the way, I have to wash my own hair. It's a whole separate thing. But anyway, so when we first established it was like, all right, how much for you to come to my house? And she told me how much it was, which, by the way, ironically so, is exactly what it cost me to go to her in the salon once I pay the salon fee and the tip. Mm-hmm. So do you see where I'm going with
yes.
this? So that's why I do not give her more. Now, by the way, she charges $50. So in the event that I only have 20s and she doesn't have change, which she always does, thank you, Rachel, because it's rude not to. But when she doesn't, if she didn't have change, I would just give it to her and I wouldn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Does that make sense?
Completely. I think it goes.
So but how do you feel about that? So you just
I think in my home services are different. I think in my home versus in their home, I think it depends where you're traveling to and stuff.
Well, that's true. No, that's true. Like city versus Long Island.
Yeah. If I was getting a spray tan in my house,
you would too.
I tip 20%, even if it's the business owner. Yeah.
Is she the owner? Like the girl that does spray tans?
I've gone to a few different ones. One, it's like two sisters that like co-own it.
Okay, well that's different. So
that's different too.
Sort of.
And then hair, I always tip. I'm a pretty much like 22 to 23% tipper, like across the board. Is usually my go-to.
But there's also we do know this to be, this to be true. You don't get services that necessarily are lower dollar amounts, but when services are lower dollar amounts, you have to tip more than 20 or 22%.
Yeah. But I don't have that problem.
I know.
Though. You have that because you get a regular manicure.
Right.
So it's,
a regular manicure is $12. I am not giving her
$2,
$3.
Yeah.
To do my nails. That's
So you give more.
Preposterous.
Of course.
So, like that.
Yeah.
Goes.
But I don't know if I follow that same tipping. Usually I go like coffee, like I do like $1 a cup or something like that.
I know. Well, you remember we just had that conversation.
Yeah.
Brooke and I went to Starbucks not too long ago, and I think we got like 3 drinks.
Oh, I do like $1 an item or something.
And I was like, oh God, I only gave $1 for 3. That's like really not acceptable.
No. So then we switched it to a 5.
I think it was at Dunkin', and you were like, yeah, you should give more, Mom. Like sometimes, believe it or not, as much as I do tip, like sometimes I kind of lose track because I'm like a creature of habit. And
you're used to your own singular order or whatever it is, and not like
my iced
a whole
coffee,
bunch of stuff. Yes,
$1, whatever. So
totally
I'm used to it, and then I don't think like that.
So what's the conclusion?
But I do have a question because this is, this was on the Today Show. Brooke makes fun of me all the time because
everything she references, I'll be like, oh, like something about like the drug epidemic. My mom's like, saw it on the Today Show. Like everything you see, I'm like, you saw it on the Today Show.
Yeah, but they did have a whole episode, a whole segment
on tipping
because I guess what's happening is people are getting really annoyed with the the POS system where then they spin it around extreme. And they're like, just answer the question.
Yeah, they're like, just got some questions for you.
Just got some questions for you. Just put your social security number in there and we'll be fine. No,
the joke is that they see you doing it. Like they'll be like, here you go, and then they watch you do it. So then it's more or less like you're like, okay,
but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you this. Listen to this. True story. So today, Daddy and I went to Just Salad, which I love, by the way. A little side note, not sponsored.
Wreck of the week.
Yeah. So we went to Just Salad. Now, they make the one person follows the whole order down the line.
Okay.
It's not like Chipotle where it's like you got the burrito guy, then you got the bean guy, then you got the like
salsa guy,
the salsa and the this,
and then you
got the cashier.
Yeah.
No, this person's taking you from start to finish across the line. So a lot of work is going into this.
Sure.
Is my point. So it comes down to it. Now it's, the how much are you going to tip them? You have to tip them. You have to.
Okay.
I mean, this is a real service that has taken place down the line. I watched a woman go in front of me and then she's like, "Oh, can you just answer the questions on the screen?" And like, of course, I'm like,
what did she do?
I'm like leaning over, and she did no tip, and I cut her a look like, you evil woman. How dare you? I mean, you couldn't throw her $1 or $2.
Especially, I will say, especially when it's on the iPad, because then there's no excuse. Because with the cash thing, sometimes it will be
like
just cash, and
I
you're
don't
like, I don't have any. So I literally went to Starbucks before. I don't have any singles.
Thing.
I tip on the app, but it's like, do they get it? We don't know.
Yeah.
But when it's on the iPad thing, it's like it's literally right there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No joke. So she finished.
It's tough.
She finished. She hit the and I'm thinking, and I could have like
laser
beams. I'm like, I hope you trip on your way out.
Mom,
no, that was like $1 or $2. I'm not asking for her to like, or don't. Or here's the thing, or don't get the salad there. Like that's the thing. They
because you have to factor in.
So anyway, but you know what the Today Show did say? So yes.
What did they say?
If they are rendering a service.
Yeah, I did see this actually because they said, because, if you go and you do a grab and go thing, you get a pre-made juice and a water, you don't need to tip.
No tip.
But if they are, making your salad, making your bowl.
Right. If you go to Pret and you like
grab and go,
something and you just have them ring it up, the cashier should not be compensated for just ringing up your order. It's when are they warming your croissant? Well,
yes.
You have to tip.
Yes. Okay. I love this. That's a good rule of thumb.
Right.
Okay. But we never really answered the original question, which is, do you have to tip if it's there? I think that it's...
No, I think we did.
Oh, so it's no, typically. You also do... My mom also gives like gifts and treats and stuff. So that's kind of more so like the logic. I'd like to do that too. If I have someone come and even do any sort of work in my house, I like offer them drinks, food, whatever. You know?
Yes, chocolate, candy, cookies.
Yes.
Like, what do I have? And
Exactly.
yes, I mean, well, Daddy is also, this is kind of like not just about tips. This is about something that we do. And I think it's very important. And I think because Daddy grew up, working at people's homes or, as like a carpenter and providing services, it's very nice to treat anyone who's in your home nicely.
Of course.
And so what does he do? I mean, now Daddy's a little extreme. Like
Yeah.
he will literally go to the store and buy a case of Gatorade, put it on ice and put it outside for anyone who's working outside.
It's really
when they're
nice.
working outside.
Yeah.
Do you know how, but that's so appreciated.
It's so,
I mean,
I've seen this done for actually delivery drivers in the
Yes.
Christmas time and stuff. They leave out snacks and drinks and say, take what you
Yes.
want. Especially if you're getting a lot of packages. Nice to do. Also nice to give your drivers a gift and stuff. Yeah. Which we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I know.
very, very nice to do.
Yes.
Very nice.
I really think that's nice, Mom.
Yeah.
That's a good rule of thumb. Dipping. I know people want us to get into rules and stuff. So hopefully that.
Who, us to get into rules or you and Danielle?
Us, because you have so many rules. That's the joke. Is
know.
that you have so many. My mom has so many rules for life that really are great though. That I feel like somewhat. I don't know how I'm really navigating adulthood, but I am, and a lot of them are foundations that you taught me.
Right, but again, also up for the challenge. If something's if I'm saying what I'm saying and you think it's no, actually I think you're wrong about that. Hey, I want to hear. It's not to say that my rules cannot be broken. We're setting the rules because this works for us. But I think so many of the rules really do come back to just being a good person.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Or treating people the way you want to be treated.
Totally. I mean,
Or
yeah.
any of those just fundamental rules.
Of course. I
Right?
get that. Yeah. Well, that's great. All right, guys.
So are we done with all of our questions? I thought we had a couple more, but I'm
We
very
do.
excited.
Okay, we'll end off on one more. We'll do one more. 'Cause
Okay.
We've been doing this for an hour and 15 minutes, Mom.
Oh, we have to go and I have to go to work.
Yes, so we'll do one more. Okay, because you asked for it. My mom's having so much fun. She loves going on the pod. If you can't already
I do
tell,
love the pod. Well, I'm not going to lie though. I don't love the video with the pod.
really,
Well, I've told you this already.
I know, but I think it's fun. But
I'm
you like
sure-
to watch it now.
I'm sure people love it, but I'm
Oh, of
awkward.
course.
I have to worry about where I'm sitting.
You
I
gotta
can't
get
just be
over it.
I can't just be in my pajamas and
We're chilling. We're having a good
Yeah.
time. Okay, let's see what they have to say.
Hi guys, my question is for Adina. I love your relationship with your husband. My question is, how do you keep your marriage so alive and so positive? It seems like y'all are just so in love on Brooke's vlogs, and I hope one day I can find a man like that. I love y'all.
I love that.
that's so
I know.
nice.
And as I get older, I do think that the long-term relationship questions are really, really great. Because there's one thing of being in a relationship, whatever, but long-term relationships, you guys have been together for a long damn time, Yeah.
Yeah, but I think when you have the common goals, whether as far as raising your children or what it looks like, what this stage in your life kind of looks like, or just, but look, it's much easier to just look, you see bits and pieces.
Totally.
Remember that, of course.
Life is a highlight reel.
Right. I mean, exactly.
Social media is a highlight reel. Yeah.
Just do Daddy and I walk around arguing? Absolutely not.
No, you guys, also walk around holding hands.
Yeah,
you guys
I
are
mean-
very much so. She's right. You guys
Yes.
are very much so in love and connected, and yes.
Yeah, but I think that it's I guess so, because what did you say? You said something, Brooke, recently, we were at the kitchen table, I think as a family. So for whatever reason, we were all home.
Yeah.
And you asked the question or something what was the best age in your life? Mm-hmm. Do you remember asking that?
I feel like I
it was
remember
what
talking
was the
about-
best
yeah.
age? When were you or the most happy or whatever, or what was the best? And it's actually right now.
Wow, you do feel that
Yeah,
way. That's really
it's
sweet.
Definitely right now. Yeah, but that's because I'm more established with work, and so when you're more established with work, there's you're when you're more financially comfortable,
Totally.
you can be less stressed. You can enjoy other things. You can provide to your family the way you want to provide, like all of those things. So it does make for a happier relationship.
It's less stressful, less.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, there were times where it wasn't always wonderful because it was very stressful for whatever, you know, when daddy was doing his job and I was doing my job and I was traveling and daddy was working at the firehouse. That's very different times, you know, and raising kids and raising kids and raising kids and balancing and daycare and all of that.
I completely
So, but we definitely do try to spend a lot of time together. In fact, you know, like daddy and I were just talking about it, and you know, we're looking forward to, like, we'll chat about like our weeks ahead, like week ahead. And I'm like, I just can't wait to, you know, be home sleeping in our own bed and, you know, being with you and watching TV and just like, it's little things that we like to do. And
and that's just kind of in finding the right person, I guess, like right? Like that's the advice there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, truly being with someone that you love and that you both are so.
Yeah. That you enjoy being with.
I mean, it's cliche, but it's like your best friend or two, right? So
I mean, but it's true. I mean, like yesterday when we were at the hotel, I was like, well, I thought we were gonna, you know, take a walk together and whatever. I didn't know that you were going to the gym with Sal, and so I guess I'll walk alone. I sounded like you.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
such
don't
a
worry,
Brooke Bridges.
don't worry, I'll go for a walk alone. He's like, you're not gonna go for a walk alone. He's like, why can't you go to the gym? And I'm like, because I don't want to go to the gym. We're, you know, out
we're
in
in
Montauk.
a nice, beautiful place. Yeah.
So he's like, I'll go for a walk with you.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
compromise.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
guys do a
part
really
of it
good
as
job
well.
It's very sweet. It's
Thank
really, really nice to have such a positive example of love in my life. I feel very lucky, especially as I get older and I see a lot of my friends' parents are divorced or just unhappy and stuff. Like I really am like, wow, I'm so lucky to.
Yeah,
see.
that's nice.
Yeah, so I really.
But you know what? As I get older in life, I see that too. You know, like when you're where we were yesterday and you look around at families, and it's not to say that they're not wonderful families, but you know, the parents aren't together anymore, or you know, any of that. So it is nice.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
to appreciate what you have.
Yeah, and when you look at Daddy's family, it's pretty like amazing because
A lot-
He
yeah,
has
it's all together.
he has 2 brothers, 1 sister, and we're, you know, all married
Yeah,
to that same person.
yeah,
So it's very
yes,
blessed and lucky.
love it. And you guys are really growing together, which is so nice because
Yes.
wow, you guys have gone through so many different eras of your lives together.
Yes.
Talk about that.
That's for sure.
I think that is where we will wrap it up today
I love.
because we've talked. Mom, you are a star. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Hungover and all.
I know we took a big boy ibuprofen before this. My head is throbbing.
I really didn't. By the way, I don't wake up hungover. It's the fun fact. It's like it kind of like takes a little time.
I get that.
And then it's more so tired, right? Like that's what you get.
I slept pretty good last night. I don't know about you. You didn't?
Brooke, Daddy and I were in the double bed.
Oh yeah, because they were in a room with Sal. I was in a room with Ben, so we had a nice big bed.
And just for the record, I don't want you to be like, oh my God, you were in the room. Just we must establish this was a little on the pricier side of hotel stays.
A really nice hotel.
Yeah, like we needed to. Like I was like, I'm like, no way that Sal was getting his own room.
According to the family rules, this was permitted because there was a balcony.
Oh yes,
And you are allowed
There
to
was
do
a
that if
timeout
there's-
area.
As long as there's a sufficient third room as a timeout area, allowed. We could share.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we were right on the beach, so there was actually you could even take that a
Yes.
step further.
Perfect.
Go take a walk on the beach. No, we didn't have to do that.
It was such a wonderful time. Okay, well, thanks for being here. I would say plug yourself, but you know,
But don't
social
bother
media is
because that's not my thing.
Follow me to see the updates on my mom and updates on her work and everything. I try to post.
Though I do. And I should say, love the support that
Yes.
your
Gals.
gals provide to me on my Instagram and through Brooke, and it's always, you know, so great. It's great when I go places and I get stopped for
Oh, she
being
loves
Brooke's
it, yeah.
mom. It means so well, but that's like, because it's not just about. Daddy always jokes around and Sal, and it's like, oh, she loves being like spotted, but it's like, no, it's because it's a proud mama moment.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Okay, we love you guys.
Love you.
Thumbs up, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and Danielle will catch you next week with Peaceful Michelle. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.
Bye.